This is the story of a man who's become China's latest enemy #1. Jimmy Lai, 71 years old, a media tycoon from Hong Kong, now in global headlines for being arrested by China. Why was he arrested? For violating the Hong Kong security law. Well, what exactly did he do? Apparently, he colluded with foreign forces. How did he do that? No one knows that. What we do know is why Jimmy Lai was singled out by China. He is one of Hong Kong's most prominent pro-democracy voices. His tabloid, the Apple Daily, routinely questions leadership in Hong Kong and in mainland China. In the past, Jimmy Lai was sent rotten animal entrails on mail. China called him a traitor, the black hand behind last year's protests. Then it imposed the vaguely worded Hong Kong security law on the 10th of June. Exactly 2 months later, it made the most high-profile arrest under the law. The arrested man was Jimmy Lai. Well, we are happy to report that the arrest has backfired, and spectacularly so. The people of Hong Kong and the people all over the world are standing up for Jimmy Lai. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Lai's arrest is further proof that the Chinese Communist Party has, quote-unquote, eviscerated Hong Kong's freedom and eroded the rights of its people. Canada said that the Hong Kong leadership must uphold all human rights and fundamental freedoms, including media freedom and freedom of speech. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that Lai's arrest was evidence of how the national security law is being used as pretext to silence opposition. In India, we at WION have started a campaign to support democracy in Hong Kong. Hong Kong's dark times are here. The city woke up to the news of Jimmy Lai's arrest. He's a prominent pro-democracy voice and the owner of Hong Kong's most read newspaper. Jimmy Lai has been accused of violating the Hong Kong security law. Well, what did he do? That is something that the police has not specified. No one knows.
Carrie Lam and her masters in Beijing are undeterred. The world must make China pay for its massacre of Hong Kong.
How did Hong Kong react to Jimmy Lai's arrest? In a way that Beijing perhaps never expected. China wanted to scare the people of Hong Kong by arresting Jimmy Lai. It wanted to set an example. If you speak about democracy or speak against the mainland, you will end up arrested like Jimmy Lai. Too bad. That move backfired. Jimmy Lai became an even bigger star. His Apple Daily became Hong Kong's biggest media house overnight. Its stocks jumped 1,400% in the last 2 days. 1,400%. Apple Daily stood strong in the face of its owner's arrest. The tabloid increased its number of copies. Instead of printing around 70,000 copies, Apple Daily printed 500,000 copies today. And people queued up in front of newspaper stands to buy them. This is today's edition. The front page had an image of Jimmy Lai in handcuffs. The headline read this: Apple Daily must fight on. How did China react to all of this? It buckled under pressure, believe it or not. Jimmy Lai will soon be released on bail. The entire episode blew up in China's face. Jimmy Lai's arrest has become a rallying point for a bigger protest. China has just proved its critics right by abusing the security law, and the result is this. Lai has become the global face of Hong Kong's resistance to China. The world is talking about him. In Hong Kong, he has become a hero, the new face of Hong Kong protests. Lai's is a rags to riches story. He was born in mainland China in Guangdong. He fled to Hong Kong at the age of 12. He toiled in shops, he taught himself English, and today he's the owner of a clothing empire and a media house. Jimmy Lai has an icon story. Hong Kongers are already referring to him as a freedom fighter. And guess who has taken note of this? The one and only Global Times, the Chinese mouthpiece. It says referring to Lai as a freedom fighter is naive thinking. If it could be honest, Global Times would have told you that the reference raises a very important question. Could Hong Kongers now demand independence from China? Is this a fight for freedom now? Till now, the demand was for autonomy, but words like freedom fighter hint at a shift in the movement. What can China do about this? Not very much. What about the durability of Jimmy Lai's bail? Experts say China is likely to study the situation, see how it pans out. Jimmy Lai could be put back in prison if his freedom becomes too risky for China. It's a catch-22 now. Putting him behind bars could worsen the situation. So here's my biggest takeaway from the entire episode. Jimmy Lai's arrest and eventual release speaks 1,000 words about China's psyche. China is scared of protests. We've told you this before. When we spoke about Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement and Tiananmen Square. Jimmy Lai's arrest is the latest example of this. The moment Hong Kong put up a united front in support of Jimmy Lai, China was forced to release him on bail. So the only way to deal with China is to stand up to it, speak up against the draconian laws, against the violation of international law, stand up in support of Hong Kong. We at WION have been repeatedly telling you to make China pay. The echoes of our call resulted in China banning us. We've already been and always been vocal about our support for Hong Kong's democracy. We've spoken in support of free speech, and now we are going to be louder in our demands. And tonight I'm asking all of you to join us in extending our support to Hong Kong. Talk to people about the plight of the city, write about it, tweet in favor of Hong Kong, hold truth to power. China wanted to set an example by arresting Jimmy Lai. So let's set an example for Beijing by standing up in support of this man and his tabloid. WION stands with Apple Daily, and we're asking you to join us in our campaign.